stop. Before you listen to another excuse. Before you tell yourself you'll start tomorrow. Before another week becomes another month, and another month becomes another year. Ask yourself one question. How much longer are you willing to live beneath your potential? Because somewhere deep inside you, there is a voice that remembers who you wanted to become, a voice that refuses to accept an average life, a voice that knows you were built for more. But every single day, another voice fights back, the voice that says, you're tired, the voice that says, one more day won't matter, the voice that says, everyone else has it easier, the voice that whispers, maybe this is all you are. That voice is lying. The greatest prison on earth isn't made from concrete or steel. It's built from excuses. It's built every time you choose comfort over growth, every time you hit snooze instead of getting up, every time you quit because it became difficult, every time you tell yourself, I'll start Monday. But Monday never comes, because the problem was never Monday. The problem was the decision. You see, the world has convinced people that motivation changes lives. It doesn't. Motivation disappears. Discipline remains. The people you admire don't wake up every morning full of energy. They wake up with purpose. They don't train because they feel like it. They train because they decided who they are. That decision changes everything. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Think about that. The obstacle isn't stopping you, it is becoming you. Every hardship you've faced has been shaping the person you're becoming. Every setback has been preparing you. Every failure has been teaching you something success never could. The strongest steel is forged in the hottest fire. The strongest minds are forged in the hardest battles. Life isn't happening to you, it's training you. Most people spend their lives trying to avoid pain, but pain is one of life's greatest teachers. Pain teaches humility. Pain teaches gratitude. Pain teaches resilience. Pain strips away every lie you've told yourself until only truth remains. The question isn't whether life will challenge you. It will. The question is, who will you become because of those challenges? Will they break you, or will they build you? Some of the greatest people in history lost everything before they became anything. They were rejected, ignored, mocked, bankrupt, defeated. Yet they refused to stay down, because they understood something most people never learn. Failure isn't the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. Every champion has lost. Every leader has doubted themselves. Every warrior has been afraid. Courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is moving anyway. There will be mornings when your bed feels warmer than your dreams. There will be days when quitting feels easier than continuing. There will be nights when nobody believes in you. Those are the moments that define you. Because character isn't built when life is easy. Character is revealed when life becomes difficult. When nobody is watching, do you still do the work? When nobody claps, do you still keep going? When nobody believes, do you still believe? That is the iron mind, not perfection. Persistence, not talent. Consistency, not motivation. Discipline. Epictetus taught that we cannot control what happens to us, but we can always control our response. Read that again in your mind. You cannot always choose what life gives you, but you always choose who you become. That choice belongs to you. Nobody else. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to hand you confidence. Nobody is coming to hand you success. You build it. One decision. One workout. One early morning. One difficult conversation. One disciplined action at a time. The life you dream about isn't built in one extraordinary day. It's built through thousands of ordinary days done extraordinarily well. People underestimate small actions because they want dramatic change. But mountains are climbed one step at a time. Fortunes are built one investment at a time. Strength is built one workout at a time. Confidence is built one promise kept at a time. Every promise you keep to yourself becomes another brick in the foundation of your character. Every promise you break becomes another crack. So today, make one promise, not 10. One. Then keep it. Tomorrow, do it again. That is how ordinary people become extraordinary. Not through luck, not through talent, through relentless consistency. Remember this. Your future self is watching you right now. Imagine meeting that future version of yourself 10 years from today. Would they thank you or ask why you waited? Would they admire your discipline or regret your excuses? That future isn't written yet. You're writing it now. With every decision, with every action, with every excuse you refuse to accept. This is where your life begins to change. Not because circumstances changed, because you changed. Because today, you stopped waiting. You stopped hoping. You stopped wishing. And you decided. The iron mind is not given. It is forged. And this is only the beginning. If you're still listening, it means something inside you refuses to settle. Protect that feeling. Because most people lose it. Not because they aren't capable. Because they stop feeding it. The world has sold people a dangerous idea. They've been told they need to feel motivated before they take action. That's backwards. Action creates motivation. Not the other way around. Think about the days you've achieved the most. Did you wake up feeling unstoppable? Probably not. You got moving. You took the first step, then another, then another. Momentum replaced hesitation. Confidence replaced doubt. That's how discipline works. Discipline doesn't ask permission. It doesn't wait for the perfect mood. It doesn't care if it's raining outside. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't negotiate with excuses. It simply says, "We're doing this." There will always be a reason to quit. You'll be too tired, too busy, too stressed, too old, too young, too broke, too late. Excuses never run out. The question is, will you? Because every excuse you accept becomes another chain holding you where you are. And every excuse you reject becomes another key that unlocks your future. The Stoics understood something the modern world has forgotten. Freedom isn't doing whatever you feel like. Freedom is mastering yourself. If your emotions decide whether you train, you're not free. If your comfort decides whether you chase your goals, you're not free. If fear decides the direction of your life, you're not free. Real freedom begins the moment you become stronger than your excuses. That doesn't happen overnight. It happens one decision at a time. One difficult morning. One uncomfortable workout. One disciplined choice. Day after day. Week after week. Year after year. People often ask, how do I become mentally strong? The answer disappoints them. You become mentally strong by repeatedly doing things that require mental strength. There is no shortcut, no secret, no magic morning routine. You become stronger by carrying weight. Literally, emotionally, mentally. Every difficult thing you avoid today becomes an even bigger obstacle tomorrow. Every difficult thing you face today becomes tomorrow's confidence. That's why growth feels uncomfortable. Your old identity is fighting to survive. Your old habits don't want to disappear. Your old excuses will whisper louder than ever, because they know they're losing. Every time you choose discipline, a weaker version of yourself disappears forever. Think about that. The person who made excuses last year. doesn't have to exist anymore. The person who doubted themselves can be left behind. The person who believed they weren't good enough can become someone completely different. Identity isn't fixed, it's earned. You become what you repeatedly do. If you repeatedly choose courage, you become courageous. If you repeatedly choose discipline, you become disciplined. If you repeatedly choose honesty, you become trustworthy. Character is nothing more than habits repeated long enough that they become part of who you are. Most people chase outcomes. The iron mind chases identity. Don't ask, how do I get fit? Ask, what would a disciplined person do today? Don't ask, how do I become successful? Ask, what would someone committed to excellence do right now? Don't ask, how do I become confident? Ask, what action would a confident person take in this moment? Then do that, again and again. Eventually, you stop acting like that person. You become that person. Seneca once wrote that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. How true is that? How many opportunities have people lost because they imagined failure before they even tried? How many dreams have died because fear spoke louder than purpose? Fear is a storyteller. It creates disasters that rarely happen. It convinces people that embarrassment is fatal, that rejection is permanent, that failure defines them. None of it is true. The only guaranteed failure is never beginning. Imagine if every setback you've experienced wasn't punishment. Imagine it was preparation. Every disappointment, every heartbreak, every mistake, every loss. What if life wasn't breaking you? What if it was building someone capable of carrying greater responsibility? Because that's exactly what happens.